Welcome back to another exciting week of my collection. We've moved off of the main wall and now are into kind of the middle of the room. I had this really cool display coffee table built. However, as with most collectors, the horizontal surface has attracted everything in the under the sun. So I just pulled out the top shelf and we'll just kind of go through it like this. Camera will probably be a little shaky, but we'll make it through, right? So let's start over here. This is the left rearing horse plaque. Most everything in here is very early Hagen Renaker, Southern California pottery. So this is an experimental line that they did of these rock wall plaques. Everything just about in here is poured and fired pottery. So this was a Southern California piece made in the early 1960s. The little round rooster and cherries and hen with little worm and the pear, those are butter pats from their very early pre-animal line from the 1950s, like 50, actually I think maybe late 40s, early 50s. The round blue wall pocket was actually a gift for employees that had babies. So there was the blue and then there was a pink wall pocket. So they were never produced for retail sale. Mom found me these. One of them is marked Hagen Renaker, one is not. They are fairly typical. I don't think I have any of the other wall pockets out right now, but they're a fairly typical manufacture, but very different, obviously, in coloring than just about anything else here. The buffalo wall plaque is fired pottery. It's hollow. It's from that same line as the horse rearing wall plaques. I think this one may not have been actually released. He's pretty rare. And he's very matte, looks like kind of a cave painting, a very cool effect. I'm not sure. I think there might be one or two others running around, but there's definitely not a lot of these buffaloes. The little green odd shaped thing here is actually a flower, not a planter, but a flower display, and then that thing inside is a flower frog. Also Hagen Renaker, also pretty early and very hard to find in good condition with that frog. The holes are where you would stick the flowers, and then kind of those big indents are on the sides is where you'd put your fingers to pull it up to clean it and get it ready for the next display. This rooster is one of the dinner plates that they made, kind of similar to another company called Metlocks, but different in how they decorated it. Most of the early Hagen Renaker ware is marked HR, but not all of it. This little dog here that's pretty hard to focus on, that's the gingham dog, and we'll come across the calico cat a little later. Very early Hagen Renaker ware. This is, I think we call them salad plates, but they're way too small to be salad plates. They could be bread plates or little accessory plates. Again, very early Hagen Renaker pieces. That's a little flower vase, and then another little butter pat. There's one of the big dinner plates. It's kind of peaches and pears and grapes. A different finish, how the edges are all scalloped, from this rooster plate that has this, just the single brown rim around it. This is also from what kind of their display line. It's a leaf bowl. You could put candy in it, I suppose. With a Hagen Renaker hitching post. It is the original hitching post, which is very rare and hard to find. A little petal person, a little bisque, bananas, and then a very rare pin. It's a little guardian angel pin. It's actually unfinished, so it's still bisque. This piece I bought at Breakables years and years ago. It's a I think Dunning. It's a hobby copy of the Hagen Renaker Stablemate Proud Arabian, finished by Christina Lucas Francis. He's one of my absolute favorite pieces. I love that mold and I love the colors. This guy that you're probably not going to be able to see very well is a bell from that early line. And then one of the, best in the collection, best in show, is the Hagen Renaker Walt Disney Productions Samson horse from Sleeping Beauty. I found it in the wild in a little antique store in Kansas. Managed to contain myself to do the happy dance until he was safely wrapped and packed. And he lives in this little display case inside of a display case because he is just way too fragile. Those little tiny legs just freak me out. And he still has his original Walt Disney Productions sticker. Let's see what else we have. Oh, this is really cool. This is Hoskar. He was sculpted by Christina Lucas Francis, and we'll see a lot more of them later in the collection. This one just happens to be a matte bisque that I bought at a photo, or that I won from a photo show. He was made as a trophy for Hagen Renaker, or not Hagen Renaker, Poor Horse, and other China photo shows. This is an original sculpture by Christina Lucas Francis of a saddlebred. Bought at Breyer Fest or Jamboree or one of those. And then this is a Sarah Makevich sculpted medallion in matte bisque. So he lives in here because he's not fired, or not finish fired, so I don't want him to get dusty. This is a Hagen Renaker Zany Zoo piece. It's the skunk. Very rare, very hard to come by. And then this is the the gingham dog and the calico cat. Side by side on the table they sat. They were sculpted by Hagen Renaker after a popular poem of the day. So I was very happy to get those at Breyer Fest last year or the year before. This is fun. This is a chipmunk kind of little serving dishy thing. Very interesting piece with the little edging in green. Sorry, I'm readjusting how I'm holding the camera. And then a Hagen Renaker Pixie, designed by Malaysian Drew, but released by Hagen Renaker. Then we have a Hagen Renaker console bowl. These you would put like on your television and display flowers and such in them, along with a couple of fragments. I think that's a Knut head and probably an Owen head from Poor Horse Pottery. Then another Hagen Renaker bell, and I love this stuff, another bell, and a mug, that's a rooster coffee mug. And then we have the right rearing horse matching that left rearing horse on the other side. So a lot of oddball stuff. This is my absolute favorite stuff to collect. I'm going to stand up so that I can get a group shot, because I think this is some of the funnest stuff to collect. The early, the oddball, the experimental, the custom, and the fun. So hope you enjoyed that and learned something. I'll probably do a video on this specific stuff maybe someday in the future, because it's very cool and not very well known, and I think it's pretty awesome. So hope you enjoyed that. And join me next week and I'll move up another wall and we'll see what we can find there. Thank you.